On this Shabbat of Solidarity with Israel, how appropriate it is that we honor you, Hy Kashenberg. For you, Hy, have always had Israel's back. You've been a staunch supporter of our Jewish homeland for so many years. You've already heard from Rabbi Herman and Dwight Freund about Hy's contributions to our KOH library, the crown jewel of our synagogue, in my humble opinion, who, along with Bill and Shola Ostrom and Michael and Millie Hayward, may their memories be for a blessing, created this wonderful, wonderful addition to our Jewish community and to our congregation. So I won't dwell today on your contributions to the synagogue, but rather allow me to share a story about Hy's commitment to Israel. And I think it's appropriate on this day. It was 2005. Many of you might remember our oldest son, Avi, was in the Israel Defense Forces as a paratrooper. And because Avi's parents, because Judy number one and I, did not live in Israel, Avi was considered a chayal boded, a lone soldier. And on occasion, when the Israeli army would allow their soldiers to go home to their families for Shabbat, the lone soldiers sometimes were left on the base by themselves. And other times, the lone soldiers would be invited to spend Shabbat at one of their fellow soldiers' homes. So Avi was invited one Shabbat to spend Shabbat with one of his fellow soldiers who lived in a poor section of Tel Aviv. Avi had an amazing Shabbat experience. The family he spent Shabbat with lived in a very small two-bedroom apartment with one water closet, with one bathroom. They had no refrigerator. Their refrigerator was broken. It had been broken for 2 months. The family could not afford to repair it or to buy a new one. So all of their refrigerated food was in ice chests. Avi called me after that Shabbat experience, and he said to me that it was the most wonderful Shabbat experience he had ever had. He told me that at the Shabbat dinner table, they all sang Zmirot for 2 hours after the Shabbat meal. And then he said, Abba, we need to help this family. Would I speak to the members of Mosaic Law and explain what a mitzvah it would be to help this family? So I told him I would speak to the congregation the following Shabbat. How many of you were here when I shared that story? You were here, Hy. Hy, I'll get to you in a moment. Before that Shabbat, when I was planning what I was going to say to all of you and to share Avi's experience, I contacted Danny Siegel. You remember Danny? Danny is that mitzvah maven who does so much wonderful tzedakah work for Israel. And I asked Danny to put me in touch with a colleague of his in Jerusalem. And I spoke with his colleague, and I asked his colleague if he could arrange for a social worker to meet with this family in Tel Aviv and do an assessment as to what their needs are. And I told him not to worry about the cost, because I said, I know that my congregation will step up and will help. So that Shabbat, I told the story of Avi's experience. And as the content of my sermon, I explained what the needs were. And immediately after my sermon, Hy, I don't know if you remember, Hy walks up to the bimah, right here to the lectern. He puts his arm around me, and he whispers in my ear, Reb, please inform the Mosaic Law bookkeeper on Monday morning to charge my credit card $25,000 towards this mitzvah project. Did I do a good imitation of Hy? Was it? Okay. I then, of course, I was shocked. I was in a state of shock. I asked Hy if I could share the news with the congregation right then and there. And he said, only if it will inspire others to make contributions to this cause. And when I announced Hy's contribution, John Farahi, the owner of the Atlantis Resort in Reno, who was sitting next to Hy and who is a good friend of Hy's, who just happened to be here that Shabbat morning, visiting from Reno, yelled out, Rabbi, my family commits $15,000 to help this family. And you know what happened after? So many of you in this congregation followed suit, and we raised enough funds to allow this family to move to a larger apartment, to purchase a new refrigerator and other appliances. And for the next 2 years, that social worker continued to check in with this family, even helping the father of the soldier find a better paying job. Hy Kashenberg, let me say to you that within one's lifetime, there are people whom one meets or connects with that have a lasting impact on our lives. There is no doubt in my mind that you are one of those people. I have always seen you as a bright, opinionated, self-made man who has, during your adult years of life, made significant contributions to the communities in which you have lived. How blessed our congregation has been, and how blessed the state of Israel has been to have you in our midst. Today we celebrate you, Hy, on this very bittersweet Shabbat, but we celebrate you and the profound impact you have had on our synagogue and on the state of Israel. I pray, Hy, that your legacy will endure, serving as a testament to the difference one person can make when they embody the spirit of giving. Yevarechecha Adonai ve'yishmerecha Yoer Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem elecha shalom Ken yehi may your huge heart, may your kindness, may your generosity continue to inspire all of us. And let us all say, Amen.